Well, look outside of downtown this morning shows, no thunderstorms in the forecast. Well, yeah, we do have the chances later on this morning as well as through this afternoon, but right now we're doing okay. And so we'll continue to see decent conditions through the next few hours before we see better chances for more storms later this morning as well as through this afternoon. So two distinct kind of rounds of possible weather going on. So we've got some thunderstorms riding along, again, the stationary front. And as it continues to lift up to the north, it will begin the weekend as it gets towards the northland, at least the western half. The eastern half, well, the front's also sliding up to the north. So there's some energy down to the south that'll also creep into northwestern Wisconsin, which is, again, why we have a first round of severe weather possible, but also a second round possible this afternoon. So for the PM hours, this is what the storm outlook is mostly highlighting. The better chance for severe storms still remains down in our southeastern zones, generally down towards Hinckley, as well as in our southeastern counties. Only a level 2 out of 5 risk. So confidence is kind of moderate right now that we may see some storms. But I think the bulk of the activity will reside outside our region. We still have to watch it, though, as we go towards this afternoon. As for the rain chance this morning, 9 o'clock, we're still looking okay, but we'll see much more cloud cover. And we already saw it on the camera outside. We're seeing more of those high-level clouds. And we'll continue to see that as we get towards 11 and 12 o'clock. But again, most of the activity probably going to be skirting our southeastern zones with the stray shower thunderstorm up towards Minnesota. And most of the activity is, again, going to be fading once it gets towards our area. So I'm not really concerned about this morning, more so during the afternoon. So between about 1 and 4 o'clock, still looking to be fairly clear across the area until we get towards afterwards. We begin to see some isolated storm activity perhaps pop up in our southeastern zones, and that'll continue to kind of flare up a little bit. And again, models are still changing here, but it looks like the bulk of the activity is going to miss down to the south and east. But there's still that chance for a few storms to flare up to the north of it. So we just got to watch it. By the time we get to 9 o'clock, it looks to be fairly clear across the area. So not a huge long duration severe weather event. And in terms of severe threats, looks like damaging wind, large hail, as well as maybe an isolated tornado will be possible this afternoon. But it's really going to be the damaging wind, large hail if we do see any storms. Now, the bigger picture through the next few days past Thursday as well, we might see another thunderstorm chance as we head towards Thursday night. This is a look at around 11 o'clock. And we don't have super high confidence in that chance either, but I do think it's a little bit higher than especially what we saw yesterday. Into Friday, we start to get an area of high pressure to start to build in over Hudson Bay, and that's going to feed in, well, an easterly wind back into the northland. And what that means, well, dew points will be dropping as we get that cooler and a little bit drier air from Lake Superior, which is, again, going to be good news in terms of the comfort levels. As for temperatures heading into the holiday weekend, Friday, it's still going to be reasonably warm, but not nearly as warm as what we saw yesterday and through the midweek. On Saturday, we'll likely have a stiffer northeast wind, which will lead to temperatures into the 50s and 60s closer to the lake, and some 70s, maybe a couple 80s outside in our inland zones. Same thing for Sunday, except that area of high pressure will eventually slide down to the south, and we might start to get more of a southerly wind, bringing back some of the more heat back into the region. So the holiday weekend is actually looking to be a little bit on the cooler side, expecting 70s for highs, at least into the Twin Ports. But then by the time we get to next week, we look to be back into the 80s here by Monday and Tuesday, with a small storm chance as well for Tuesday.